raw hard work, raw dog and life, baby. Yeah, it's just hard work, hard work, hard work. I believe through hard work you can get anything you want. Yeah. Welcome back, G's, to another Tyson's Alchemy. And a young G asked from the Tyson's Alchemy group, which you can join by hitting the link below. Go do it now if you're not in. He asked, what are my thoughts on manifestation? What are my thoughts on manifestation? I wouldn't have this channel. I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing. I wouldn't be making as much money as I make. I wouldn't be living the life that I'm living if I didn't believe and act on the art of manifestation. In fact, there's a whole section of it coming up in the course I'm making. Because everyone's making a fucking course these days. And people have asked us to make one, so I'll make one. Don't really care. You're getting a course, so you can learn to be a big G, self-hypnosis G. So manifestation for me, what are my thoughts on it? Well, first off, it's real. You manifest your own reality. I keep saying that, you create your own reality. So what does this mean? This means your thoughts, your emotions, your energy, your actions, they all equal your reality. So in terms of manifestation, you are sowing the seeds and then reaping them later on. That is manifestation. Now you can sow seeds of thought, positive thoughts, negative thoughts, and you will get the end result of that soon. So I'll talk about the universe and how the universe is a mirror, and how everything is reflected back to you. So if your mind is in the fucking gutter, then your life is going to be reflected back to you as being in the gutter. I can't really explain it any simpler terms. Okay? Your thoughts and your reality are moulded together. Genuinely think about this. There could be twins living the exact same life, but if one of them has a positive outlook and one of them has a negative outlook, they're going to be living completely different lives. The same lives to the outside viewer, to me and you watching them, but in their head, in their experience, they're going to be perceiving their lives completely different. Now, how does that relate to manifestation? Because they, through their emotions and their thoughts and their energy, they are manifesting the next part of their life. Now, even though if we were perceiving it, and the Matrix is perceiving us, and God is perceiving the Matrix, or whatever you want to call it, even though that's still the same life, and we're just a tiny little dot in the universe, your perception, viewing it, if it's negative, you're going to manifest more negative stuff. If it's positive, you're going to manifest more positive stuff. You think you're lucky, you're going to get luckier. If you think you're unlucky, you're going to get unlucky. It's super, super simple. Now, in terms of manifesting something you want out of thin air, I do believe it works, because I've done it and tried it, but there are certain philosophers from the past that believe that you can just think of something that you want and manifest into reality without doing anything at all. Now, I have done manifestation work of my own, which I can go into detail on another video. Well, I go into detail on the courses of how I've done that. And there's like minor versions to extreme versions. But when I've manifested something, I've then tried to walk the path of the person that would manifest that thing. That I tried to become the person that would get whatever it was I wanted. So, you know, in the early days of doing the editing, for example, I would try and use my thoughts and my energy and put it out into the universe as to what I wanted from my first client. And you know, I've got a story behind manifestation, which was, I've got multiple, but the editing one was I wanted to find a client that wanted to pay me £500 a month, right? Because when I was first doing it, before I even got to the Tates, no one was wanting to pay. People were saying it was good work, but no one was wanting to pay. I was obviously finding all the barockies. And I was in the shower, I've got this technique where I meditate in the shower, and I was letting the water hit the back of my head here. So if you let the water just hit the back of the cranium, then it kind of tickles a little bit, and there's a sensation if you breathe properly and meditate. I can go into detail, it's all in the course, okay? But anyway, you meditate on this, and I thought about what I wanted to manifest, which was a £500 a month client. And within 24 hours, so obviously I was editing and reaching out to people though. I wasn't just doing nothing. I didn't just try and manifest a Ferrari on my front, okay? Because even though someone might say that works, in my reality, where I believe you have to work hard for what you want and take actionable steps towards what you want, I know my mind wouldn't be able to bend reality that way, because I just choose not to. I choose to live in a world where I actually work for what I want. Doesn't mean I don't have magic tricks and I can make things happen, but it does mean that I can't just go Ferrari, land right there, okay? Not a genie. So I did this technique in the shower, and I thought of what I wanted, meditated on it, put it out there, and then felt as if I already had it. 24 hours later, I had a G message me, and he is a G. He messaged me saying he wanted some edits done for his fitness page, and a week later, we hopped on a call, and he said, I want to pay you £500 a month, I really like your edits, and it went from there. So, can't have been coincidence, or could it? Because when you blend it all together, you blend what you want, your thoughts, your energy, and your actions. So I was editing, I was reaching out to people. I didn't reach out to him, but I was reaching out to people and putting in the work as if I was someone that would earn a £500 a month as an editor. That's how it works for me. Now, the reason you put it out into the universe and you can't try and manifest it with your emotions, your thoughts, and your actions is because I believe that the universe is a mirror and it reflects to you who you are, what you think you are, and what your subconscious believes you are. And that's why I talk about self-hypnosis, because most people, their subconscious is actually programmed against them, and usually not their fault. You know, you've got society, the matrix, parents, teachers, but they're programmed against themselves. There's limiting beliefs that they need to rewire and reframe. And again, I'll go into details of that in the course, but once you've done that, you can then align who you are and what you want to achieve in life. And you can use that with simple thoughts and meditation, and you put it out into the universe, and then you act as if it's already coming to you by acting like that person. I don't believe that you can ask for £500 a month as an editing client and then not do any edits and put the work in. I don't believe that's how it works. Feel free for someone to prove me wrong, and I know there's some philosophers out there that have said this type of stuff, but I also have to take things with a pinch of salt, and not every single philosopher has your best interest in mind, so remember that. But in terms of manifestation, I've brought loads into reality for myself. So clients, I manifested working with the Tates, I've manifested business partners. I mean, what's crazy for me now is that I've got so good at it, I just need to think of what I want, and then within the near future it comes. Now, the reason that is because I've built up this energy where I believe it's happened, so I believe it can happen again, and that's the power of manifestation, is the belief part. If you actually believe that you are going to get the thing you got, and you actually try and feel what it's like to have it. So I remember I heard this story once about this guy who got told he'd won some type of lottery, some type of millions of pounds, right? So he gets a call saying, you've won this money, it's coming to you in 48 hours, it's yours, you've won, congratulations. And he's on the phone, he's like, wow, buzzing, so excited. He starts getting so excited, he rings everyone, hey bro, we're gonna buy this, we're gonna go on holiday, we're gonna get a car. And for those 48 hours before the monies even came, he starts living as if that money has came. He starts telling everyone how awesome life is and how he's got all these grand plans and what he's gonna do. He starts to live as if he has the money already. And after the 48 hours are up, he's waiting for the money to come in. He gets another call and the money's not coming. But what he did was he lived as if it was coming. So he became the person that would receive the money. And the guy that rang him was like, well, why did you act that way? And he was, well, I thought it was coming. I genuinely believed it was coming. So I might have fucked that story up because I'm sure it ends positive for him. But anyway, let's forget the story. The point I'm making is, if you believe I think he did get the money. I think it was like a psychological test. Anyway, Google it or some shit. But the point they were trying to prove was, if you believe and then act and then feel as if you've got the thing that you want already. So he felt like he'd already got the money. He was like, yes, it's coming. I don't have it right now, but I know it's coming. So I'm just going to act like I'm a millionaire now. And he started to do that. Well then, for those 48 hours, he lived his best life. That was the best version of his life he'd ever lived. He was the happiest. He was the most loving. He was the most giving. He was giving money away. He was doing all kinds of stuff in the 48 hours because he completely knew there was money coming in 48 hours later. That's how powerful manifestation is. That's the power. If you do it that way, that's how it works. If you just try and, I want to have a six-pack and I want to look really strong. Okay, let's see what happens. Doo-doo-doo. Let me log on to this and pull my pants down. That's not going to manifest in, okay? You can't just do it like that. You need to believe that you're actually going to be in shape the way you want. But you need to follow that up with action. You have to then be the person. And it's all just power, energy, and belief, okay? Once you can channel the energy into the direction of your goal, then you have a better chance of getting it. It's that simple. If you think, I'm putting in all this hard work, I can't seem to get anywhere, you're not going to get anywhere. That's how manifestation works, okay? It's not about just this wishy-washy thing into the universe where you want to get a fucking pony. You have to sit down, meditate, understand how energy works first, okay? Go back and watch one of my videos, but understand how energy works. Get into an energy tempo, whether it's alpha state or delta state, whatever it is you're trying to achieve. Meditate on it. Think about what you want. Then think about the type of person you'd have to be to get what you want. Then feel like it's already came. And what would that feel like when you've already got it? You've already got that thing that you want. What does that feel like? Get that in your head. Meditate on that feeling that you've already got it. Once you've came out of meditation, keep hold of that feeling and then act like the person that's got it. You hear what I'm saying? Rewind that, okay? That's how manifestation works. That's my thoughts on manifestation. And it's true for me because it works. It can be true for you if you do it properly. Now, obviously, there will be lots of people that don't believe in manifestation. Just raw hard work, raw dog and life, baby. Yeah, it's just hard work, hard work, hard work. I believe through hard work, you can get anything you want. Yeah. Well, good for you, bro. That's manifestation as well. But that's your version of manifestation. You're saying that if I just work relentlessly hard, I'll get what I want. That is manifestation as well. And it's the same for the losers that don't think they're going to get lucky and don't think they're going to get anything. It's manifestation. It's a form of manifestation. Okay? You are channeling your own programming in your head with the words you speak, the thoughts you think, and what you do every day. It's all adding into your programming, as well as society's music and all the shit that they're throwing on top. So I say to you, manifest whatever the fuck you want. So remember, self-hypnosis is the key. I'll see you next time, boys.